And let's assume you become President Ron Paul. If Iran was to strike back at Israel, what would you do?
Well, I'd go and look to the rules, and the rules are that if our national security is threatened, you explain it to the people, and then you go to the Congress and say, is our national security threatened to such a degree that we declare war against a particular country?
If you believed that Iran had enough enriched uranium to genuinely launch a nuclear attack against Israel, would that knowledge alone mean that you would countenance military action?
One thing that we should set aside is there's our CIA and the Mossad. Israel are not arguing that they have the case, and even Israel said, the leader of the Mossad said, even if they had a weapon, it's not an existential threat to them.
So you wouldn't ever countenance any preemptive strike?
No, not really. Why should we? That's aggression. We're not supposed to commit aggression. I mean, that's left for the dictators. But, you know, we now don't do aggression, but what we do is preemptive war.
But if you had got knowledge...
Preemptive war is equivalent to that, and I think it's very dangerous.
But they have already said, Ahmadinejad has made it quite clear he believes in wiping out Israel, if he got the chance.
Okay.
If you were president in the Second World War, and you'd been given knowledge the Japanese were planning Pearl Harbor, you would have preemptively struck, wouldn't you?
Well, let me touch your first subject first, and that is quoting Ahmadinejad, because that's a misquote, but 99% of the people in the media would misquote it, and everybody in Washington believes it. What he actually said on the proper interpretation was that the regime in charge of Jerusalem should be removed from the pages of time. He did not say that Israel should be wiped from the face of the earth. Just think of the difference in that, removing a regime like getting rid of our administration or something.
You're not seriously defending Ahmadinejad, right?
I'm trying to defend honesty, and I'm trying to defend openness, and willing to stop a war. Just
do you see him as a threat?
Please let me finish my sentence. Just like John Kennedy was able to talk to Khrushchev. If we can talk to Khrushchev and he had 30,000 missiles, why can't we talk to a country that doesn't have a nuclear missile? And there are not, according to the record, they're not on the verge of it either.
The reason I'm pushing on this is a lot of Americans who, you know, may like you personally or whatever, but they think you're weak on this because of the preemptive issue. I oppose the war in Iraq vigorously and loudly for 2 years.
You should oppose us going into Iran.
I think Iran is a different situation.
Why?
Because I think that they would, if they could, consider attacking Israel. And if you're America, you can't let that happen. And the Israelis are looking to America for leadership, aren't they?
Why shouldn't they depend on the British? Why doesn't the British take care of them? They have a lot of influence over there. Let all the British kids go over there and die.
This is potentially World War III that we're looking at. That's what I'm most fearful
but of course, but the argument, of course, if you're in Israel, is that they could be facing potentially World War III from somebody that they see as completely unstable for some of the reasons I've stated with these statements he's made on the record, particularly in relation to Israel. And they worry that if he is in possession of a nuclear weapon, he wouldn't hesitate to carry out some of the threats and statements that he's made. And don't they have a right to feel vulnerable about that?
So you basically are defending the preventive war doctrine, which goes back to Bush. So, frankly...
Well, no, I don't actually. And in fact, just to clarify, I would have agreed about the futility of the Iraq war, for example. But in this case, it seems to me that, unlike with Saddam Hussein, you actually have Ahmadinejad threatening to exterminate Israel.
Where does he threaten?
And he is developing ever faster nuclear capacity. Now, that is a matter for concern, isn't it?
Well, where is he currently threatening to destroy Israel? That is my question.
Well, he's made statements which allude to that in the past.
Allude to it, okay. The dissolution of the Israeli state. That's like saying we want the dissolution of the Soviet Union. It doesn't mean anyone's going to launch nuclear weapons to achieve it. You can do it through other means. Dialogue is an important path for example, if you want to solve the situation, we should have dialogue with these countries again. We need to have a dialogue regarding the Israel-Palestine problem, the two-state solution, for example. We need to clarify. Also, the president does not rule this country as a dictator. It's not an autocracy. It's a republic. There's a supreme leader that he answers to. There's a parliament that he's going before at this point in time to answer for corruption charges. So it's very much like this country. Now, if you think one man, because I've heard, for example, he talks to jinn, you know, genies. I mean, it's like these are the kind of allegations we get. Because he's a lunatic, he's going to go and commit national suicide for a country that has a very proud tradition of the revolution going by 33 years, that I saw rallies, demonstrations in the millions for. I mean, there's no credibility to this report. This is just rumors. You're warmongering. You're spreading rumors at this point.